Okay, everyone. So welcome back to another Zoom call. Again, I do apologize if I sound a bit stuffy. The UK is just crazy. One second you're ill, one second you're not. Weather's mad. But we are here today. And today what we're going to do is get straight into the fact of market structure. Now, of course, everybody knows I use my own product to trade, which is Neo. But I will be going over the fact of what this analysis of market structure can do for you as a trader, and then obviously how it can benefit you when you're trading Neo. Now, I have explained this before in my videos, and I've gone over it in depth in one of my gold trading videos. This was based in 2024, 2023. I can't really remember. But I have explained this to everybody, and I think this is very important for how you're going to be able to see when the market is ready to react. So, and it's not a lot of people talk about it, or almost nobody talks about it. And it's actually about internal market structure and market structure breaks, how it can actually help you, give you a definition of a direction, and again, how this can help you with Neo. So we'll just go straight into it, and we can leave the questions to, obviously, as I've got into an explanation, so it's not too boring for anyone. We want to get straight into the action. Okay, so first and foremost, Neo automatically prints out these market structure breaks for you. As you can see, these arrows on the chart here, just telling you when the market has broken structure. The second thing is Neo actually has a table here in the bottom, the analysis table, and you can set it to whatever two time frames you want. I set mine to the daily and the weekly chart. And then it can also see the chart that you're viewing currently. So I'm on the 4 hour, but I can see a break of structure on the daily chart and I can see on the weekly. So I've got a free time frame analysis of this type of setup. Now, it also obviously does it for IFVGs and stuff like that, but we're not going to be going through that. We're just basically going through the internal to keep this video nice, short, and to the point. So why is this so important? Now, we're going to be looking at this based on the 15 minute, on the 4 hour time frame. I'm just going to go over to Oanda. My pairs are going to FXCM for some reason. Um, okay. And why this is so important is because literally it's like, think of it this way. As soon as these market structure periods happen, these breaks, it gives you an indication that like the floodgates are starting to open. So a clear example of this here is exactly what we can see from here when we had USD JPY creating this break of structure here, or even starting from up here. You can see this was a perfect entry. Now, how this is actually formed, just so people can understand, they can get this idea of it. And anyone can take this for their own trading knowledge or wherever they want to run with it to, like I said, I've already done it in a gold analysis video, so just trying to get my experience there. Yeah, trying to get my tool up. So basically, the market moves in a two candle formation. And the two candle formation, what I've noticed is a bullish bearish candle. So if you've got a bullish bearish candle, that is a low being formed. So if you've got a bullish bearish candle, sorry, my bad, let me rephrase. A bullish bearish candle will be a high being formed. As you can see here, there's a bullish bearish candle here. And you can even see here the last candle before the drop was a bullish bearish candle, then a continuation of the move. Yeah. And then you've got the bearish bullish candle that is a low being formed. As you can see here for this buy, there was a bullish bearish candle. So what the market's actually doing is a lot of people, sorry, let me put it this way, they try and mark out market structure like this. They'll say, okay, so as we can see here, this was a high, then there was a pullback here, then there was this, and then there was a continuation. You'll notice a lot of people on YouTube are doing that. Well, we're going to get into the nitty gritty to show you how you can actually work this out in internal structure. So for you to do that, what you're going to be looking at here is, again, the candlestick pattern formation. So if we started from this low, we go up to this high here, we go back down to the wick low of this candle, we go back up to the high here, we go back down to the wick low of this candle, we go back up to the high of this bullish candle, we go back down to the wick low of this candle, we go all the way up here to the high of this candle, all the way back down here to the wick low of this candle, to the high of this candle, to the wick low of this candle, to the high of these candles, to the wick low, to the high. You see the point, people? We start to build a picture of internal structure. Now, remember, we're on the 4 hour time frame doing this. You can do this on absolutely any time frame. You can do this on absolutely any single trading instrument. It's all the same. So you can see the pattern. What I'm forming here is something what we call internal market structure. And this internal market structure, yeah, is what is going to be able to show you when the market is actually breaking structure within structure. So it's the smaller structure being broken for the bigger structure to eventually lead into place. So is everybody following me so far with what I'm saying? It's a two candlestick pattern. So just to do this, you've got for the highs, you've got a bullish, bearish candle. And for the lows, you've got a bearish, bullish candle. Is everyone following me with what I've just said? Cool. Now this is for everyone. This is why I put it like this because I don't want people to just feel that everything must be neo, 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 neo. Yes, I'm gonna obviously market my products because I spent a lot of hours doing it. But of course, the things in my products is things I've learned from Forex. Do you understand? So now, with this being said, and a lot of people, like I said, they don't know about it. I'm not saying nobody does, but a lot of people don't understand it. And the whole point of this is that it actually tells you, like, if I was to use, I don't want to say their names, I don't want to seem like I'm just knocking them down, but if I was to use the leading indicators that show breakup structures and changing characters, there's nothing wrong with the way they do it. But again, like I said, they just manage to miss all the internal breaks. They'll draw it like this. Do you understand? Which is not terrible, but again, you're not seeing like the real flow inside. So now, why this is so important and so great, is because again, look at this sell trade setup before. So for the market, let's just do this one. Boom. So we go back here. Where are we? We was at this low. We was at this high. Sorry, we was at this low here. Boom, boom, boom. We was here. Then was here. Then was here. Now, unless you want to become a master at this, you can learn how to do all of this. But if you don't want to, again, Neo does this automatically for you. Everything I'm explaining here gives you a breaking structure anyway. Yeah. So boom. So let's just go here. Now, when the market was up here, this was Monday, market open. Okay, boom. What did we see here? We saw that the last low that was in the market, hence why you have this triangle here, was where it was right here. So when the candle actually broke this, not this one, sorry, it was right here. So when the candle broke this low over here, this was detected, boom, as a break of structure, internal break of structure in the market. Now, this is why these levels are so cool. And I really hope so. You people stick with me during this. Because a lot of people learn from it. A lot of people just run from when I have long Zoom calls and they don't realize I've got a lot of information in there for when you're on a drive or anything for you to soak this up, or if you're on a plane journey or whatever, train journey. So look here, boom. So right now I want you to open your brain. We're gonna use this as these zones are not just break of structure areas. They are actually areas of where orders are being filled. So we can clearly see that where this low was formed, bearish bullish, price obviously held that area and it went to now continue to buy up before obviously we saw this break here. Yeah. Now, why that is so important is because you've got to think of it this way. We don't have to go crazy with the idea of, okay, where is order flow? I've realized this in like 2023. That was like, it's common sense to tell you that orders were being placed between the gap that you can see of the width of the candle here for it to move up or for it to move down. Because the only way it could have moved up is that somebody had to place an order here for it to move up. So these, I want people to understand, are like order flow areas. And they're very simple for you to see based on the logic of how I explained the internal break of structures. Now, of course, if this was a buy order flow market and it got disrespected, so the sellers won the auction here, yeah, now, this area becomes a sell area, just like a break and retest. But again, because people just talk about it like it's support and resistance, they're not actually using the logic and telling you these are order flow areas. Think about it again. For a candle, it's just like a daily candle. Imagine this was a daily candle here. For it to have gone up here and then stop and then push down, there must have been a heavy order at the top of this level. So why are people not paying attention to where the wick is at the top of the level? Because that's obviously where the order flows are resting. Do you understand? For it to do this move. So again, what happened here when the market broke this area? This now became a sell order area where it was a buy order area. And then what do you see here in the market? You see the price has gone back up to this area. It couldn't hold this area no more because obviously sellers are in control now. And then we see We see the reaction of this area and the continuation of the sell. So with all of these areas, you can do the exact same thing. Because look, if I was to go here now, look, boom, let's go to another one. So look here, boom, there's the level here because this was a low. Can you see how the market was respecting this level here? Boom, boom. And then eventually broke it. Cool. Let's go to another one. You'll see it. It's a beautiful little pattern. There's even one here, but we're gonna have to draw that one because it's close. There's one here. Boom. Look what happens. Can you see how the market respects that level? Boom, boom, boom. And then broke it. And look at the retest. Are you guys and girls seeing this so far? Just let me know in the chat if you're seeing this, please. Boom, boom, boom. Look here, people. Look at what NFP did. If I'm lying, I'm flying, people, and I'll tell you this. Look, this was NFP's buy. Look how NFP's buy couldn't break the idea of these structural levels. Remember what I told you. People will think that I'm just trying to teach you highs and lows. No, there is a significance to the way I'm drawing these highs and lows, and they are very good. Again, Neo does this for you automatically, and I'm going to show you in a second. Neo literally does this for you automatically. So, but you can see, you know where to anticipate where price could possibly pull back to, or where you're looking at areas. Now, the levels I've seen is that they're very strong on the 4 hour. They're super strong. It's how I was able to catch the gold buy prediction, which all of us could have made money way before, because I took partial profits way before NFP did its reversal, whatever. But we'll even go into gold after. Yeah. Now you can see here, boom. So we can see how the pattern is forming. Sorry. Oh. No way, we're going to get into that, Yusuf. You'll have to run, Yusuf. We've got to walk before we run, Yusuf. We've got to walk before we run, my guy. Yeah? you got to walk before we run. There's no run, yeah? Oh, wait, you got lifetime access. You can ask me these questions any day. You know that. So now, as I was going to say, so this is the idea and the concept of it. I want people to understand that before moving forward. Yeah, it's a very simple concept. And if you don't understand it, you can always message me. I've got a 1 to 2 hour Zoom call that I've done based on gold and trading gold with supply and demand with this as well. We did very well in 2023 and 2024. So you have to forgive me for forgetting. Yeah, a lot's happened in the last 3 years for me, boy. Yeah, we did very well trading this with the daily break of structure and using this pattern. And then obviously now using it with supply and demand. So the last bullish or bearish candle at that time for price to sell or buy. He was doing that with a daily and a 4 hour chart, if anyone remembers. So yeah, like I said, if anyone wants the video of that, they can easily just message me and get that video. So I don't have to go into it too in depth with this one. So now what we can do again here, which is fantastic, is let's just remove all these drawings. Now I answer your question, Mr. Yusuf. Yeah. We go to Neo, we switch on this, yeah, which we already had. You switch on zone settings, support and resistance. This is what you do. When you switch this on, it is going to automatically draw all of these support and resistance levels for you when it loads up. Can you see? Boom, boom, boom. This is the same exact ones that I was showing you here. Automatically does it for you now. And it tells you how long is how many times price has retested this area. Why these areas good? So not only is it a buy or sell order flow area, it's also telling you how many touches like a support and resistance, which we know that the rule of thumb is if price is confirmed an area 3 times rejection, then price can buy or sell from that area. Do you understand? Now, that's not how you specifically have to trade them. I kid you not, because it can have one test and do the move. That's not how you have to specifically trade them. You don't have to wait for it to be confirmed 3 times, but it does give you a good indication if you can see that this level has been held 3 times, price could hold. Yeah. So remember, these are buy and sell order flow areas. So boom, let's just go into this now on USD JPY. Yeah. And you see how crazy this would have been for you to get a move set up. So we're just going to use this with the Neo analysis. Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to move forward. So you can change the amount of zones you see on the chart. Yeah. I suggest to keep between 5 and 3. Keep between that so you can actually change the amount you see. But obviously, if you've got too many, it's going to be, you could put 20, you could put 50 on here. Some might make your Neo not work because obviously it's too much data. But you could probably put about 20 of them, but you'll have too many blocks all over the chart. Okay. So boom. Now look at this. We'll zoom in. So already USD JPY has now, but let me just see if this is working. Yeah, yeah, cool. So just go back here, make sure my Neo is actually loading up the futures table. Okay, just gonna go here. Okay, thanks. I now have this on, but the number of confirmations is, but not the number of confirmations. Yeah, so your number of confirmations, I'll check that in a second, my friend. I'll check that in a second. But if you scroll down to the other support and resistance, I believe it's there. You know, we've got two support and resistance. We've got this one and we've got the other high, low, low, high. I believe it's there. So double check that and let me know if you get it. The to switch on the confirmation. Yeah? You should all have it because this is the Neo that I've given to all of you from literally yesterday. So you should definitely have it in the settings. All right, cool. So now you can see here, boom. What this table actually here is doing for us, guys and girls, everyone that's still paying attention and is intrigued about Neo, is this is telling us when the futures for the currency pairs are pulling apart from each other, how fast they're pulling apart from each other, how long they've been pulling apart from each other, etc. So it does all the mathematical calculations. There is 5,400 different variations of the calculations that it's actually doing all at once. And then what it's doing is it's pinpointing out of that 5,400 calculations, which is the best pairs to take. So basically, which pairs are moving away from each other the fastest. I said this in the last Zoom call, no matter what you trade, people, doesn't matter what you trade, something like this tool is very good because no matter, again, whatever you trade, whatever style you trade, if price is not pulling away from each other, the cross of the pair. So let's say if USD is not pulling away from JPY, then the move is not going to be the strongest. But if USD is selling right now and JPY is buying heavy, this is going to be a big move, regardless of what you trade. It doesn't matter what strategy in the world you trade. That is the whole idea of Forex. Price pulls from each other. Do you understand? So, boom. So let's go into here. So we're just going to fast forward it into Monday market open. And we can even see here, boom. So when the market opened and the 4 hour candle closed, don't worry, we'll go into it, mate. It's okay. You don't have to worry about that for now. You know? So we'll go into it for now. And then you can see here, boom. So we're just waiting for this dashboard to tell us when price is pulling away from each other at a good rate. That's what we're doing. So right now we can't see anything here. Boom. So we're just waiting. So now at the moment we can see USD CHF is getting a good sell set up. And this is coming into London session in the morning. USD JPY hasn't given us anything on this chart just yet. This is just USD JPY, so we just bear with us. If I go over to USD CHF, there'll be a separate setup, and we'll go back over to that one after. Now I'm just waiting to see what we get. Boom. Now you can see the dashboard lights up like a Christmas tree. Okay, this is showing you without me going to any pair. It's already automatically telling me which pairs have actually moved away in the market and what pairs can do what. If I went to every one of these pairs, there would have been some type of strong engulfing aggressive move. So it's telling me how strong each move is, and it's also putting in the which one's the best and which one's the worst based on again those mathematical calculations. So right now, if we was just to go over to AUD USD, it being number one, I'll just show you. I'm gonna have to obviously go back in replay mode because replay mode is a bit jumpy. You can see here, boom, we got a strong breakout from here. Do you understand? Nice strong breakout. And if we even look at it again, what helps you here with these zones? So even if you don't want these zones on and you learn how to draw them, that's great. But you can see here, we've got the indication of this. So think of it like the floodgates being open. Before the door had to open first for the confirmation of what you get here from this table telling you it's broken. Now, this naturally happens when people trade breakout structures. But you see, the one thing that I had from before, people be thinking, well, hold on a second. And this is why I don't remove stuff from my chart sometimes. And I have all these indicators and everything I've played with in the past in terms of trading. When I had these breakout structures, to my knowledge before, I never had them with the velocity of the market and the concept of this. Couldn't even wrap my brain of it at that time. It took me a while to get my brain around figuring out how to do it. So now it's actually telling me truthful levels of breaks of structure. So rather than just seeing, imagine this with the break of structure here, boom, yeah, but there was no velocity in this pair. And this is why the pair actually, there was actually more buy velocity in this pair, basically, than there was sell velocity. So I wouldn't have entered this trade because this would have just been a fake out sell for me. Do you understand? Literally. Sorry, people. But now I could tell that, boom, remember we had the alert up here. So when I come over to the pair, what do I see? I see this here. Now, let's even pay attention to the same thing we're looking at here. What do we see? Remember, I told you these are order areas. So now we can see price has broken off of this area. But for it to break off of this area, yes, we know it's a break and structure area. Okay, cool. Now we've got the velocity alert on Neo as well, telling us that, hey, this was buying. Go look at the pair. But where do you know where price shouldn't break back through, or where you can call this trade game over from there? Now you can call this trade game over from here, people. So we get our long position tool. We would have got in on this pair from here, boom, from the explosion of this move. Now from the explosion of this move, this is where you know where your stop loss can be, guys and girls. Yeah. And remember, this is looking at it from a 4 hour time frame. And sometimes you get smaller candles. Gold actually gave us a small breakout entry for this. And also, I want to say, price builds momentum in here. It tells you when the big moves happen, because then you know you could be in this move and then straight away it's just giving you profits. So, boom, let's even just look at the one-to-one here for now. Yeah. Boom. You see straight away, look at the velocity in the market. Now, this is happening as the market's moving, when it moves, people. The video I'm doing right now, no, it's not. But everybody that's in the Zoom call, that could be in a group, they understand this is how it happens. So we can already see the velocity that was in the market and how the market was moving just based on this, boom, this table telling you for a buy or sell trade entry. Now, this was AUD USD at that time. Remember, there was a build up. So we're going to go back over to here. Okay. So we're going to go back over to here. Even here, we're going to start the market open. Let's go here. Okay. And let's go here. So let's go to, wait for it to load. So we got Euro USD week buy. So let's go over to Euro USD. We've got Euro USD and USD CHF. Yeah. Cool. And we're just going to go back to this candle just so you can see how it appears. So remember, it's the same thing. Boom. So you see, we had Euro USD and we have USD CHF. Now, this is a break because you can see that this candle here, by the time I hit the next candle, it's definitely broken structure. It broke the structure. So it turned this sell order flow area into a buy order flow area. Yep, cool. So we would have been in on this candle here. Where is it? Let me do this. Boom. Make sure. Boom. So as this candle is moving, we actually get velocity alerts, people. And as you can see here, this is the alerts that we get in the market. You can see right over here. We're getting velocity alerts here. Can you see? So these alerts are all telling us when price action is doing some type of impulsive move, whether it's a buy or sell. This is what we're getting, guys and girls, okay? So as this candle is moving, we would have this velocity alert. So a lot of us were able to see this pair from at least around this entry here in the market, because remember, it's on replay mode, so it's just going to jump the whole candle form because we're looking at each bar on a 4 hour chart. So we get our velocity alert from there, and when we're getting our velocity alert from there, look at this. Now, again, where would our stop loss be? Well, if this is a buy breakout area, we're not putting our stop loss in this area because, as you can see, they come back and retest it. You've got to put it from where they initiated the low or the high of the move, which is here. So you can see the red zone here. Sorry, make sure it's right. Yeah, the red zone here, boom, is where they initiated the high or the low. And notice price never broke it. Even though it wanted to go down there, price never broke this candle. It never broke this red area that says confirmed one. So you put your stop loss below there. When you've got your stop loss below this area, again, we're just here in this candle. And now we're targeting our ADR levels that we can see here. Boom. So let's try and target ADR2 here, something like that. And then straight away, look. Can you see? So we almost hit our take profit level. Let's just see if we actually do hit it. Well, no, so obviously the market is about to close there. But you can see the sell, the buy trade setup. As simple as that, guys and girls. Your first confirmation, which you already have the arrows on your chart, all you have to do is go to Neo and switch on show main chart signals. If you do that, these arrows will appear. I switched them off so people didn't have a lot of mess on their chart, because obviously we've got buy and sell alerts here as well. But these are actually good. Now, don't trade them just alone. Yes, I did that on gold today, but remember, I took an educated guess based on what I'm able to teach you. If you just start trading them alone all over the place, that's completely up to you. But if you see losses, I never told you to do that. What I've told you to do is make sure there is the breaking structure, and then you get the velocity alert, because then you know you have the banks in your direction of that breaking structure trade. Do you understand? So we're going to go to another one now. USD CHF. Sorry. Boom. So you can already see the same thing happen on USD CHF here as well. It's crazy. Yeah. So USD CHF, look what happened. The same as that thing, people. You can see it just as I've taught you before. Sorry. Oh, dude, this code is getting me now. Sorry, but I was just like, I've got to do the Zoom call, whether I'm sick, tired, or whatever. I've got to do the Zoom call so I can show everybody about this, and they'll be able to use it or use it with Neil. So look here, boom. We have the market coming down. We have the same breakup structure. Remember, all of these areas have some type of relevance. Yeah. Thank you, my friend. So bless you. It's more that I need to get tissue to blow my nose. That's what it is. So here you can see, boom, you can see the market broke again here. This was from Friday. Cool, that's all right. We're not stressed about that. We want to know if Monday would have given us the initiation of the move. Remember, look here. We'll take it back to Monday and replay mode for you guys and girls so you can see. Boom, 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 boom. This candle here broke the low here. Remember, there was buy orders in here, hence USDCHF. This was a trade I actually ended up losing, but it's like I'm watching this and learning this. It's like I'm relearning this for myself whilst I'm in a trade, and this is what let me know. So I was like, okay, this makes perfect sense now. So boom. So USDCHF, I was trying to get in the back continuation from here, but paying attention to this would have let me know that, okay, this makes sense now. So now from what we can see, boom, there was the break of structure here. You're going to see the red arrow appear after. So now remember, we've already got the alert coming. Look, right here. So you would have got this alert while this candle's moving. Boom. So even before this next candle breakout, when it comes through, boom. Look, see, before, I don't know, well, that's weird. You see what I'm saying about technology? People tell me, John, what's going on? Why did the candle just skip from here to here? Technology. Sometimes you can't be upset with yourself. It's just technology. This thing. So you would have been in from around here, let's just say. It's obviously a glitch in replay mode at the moment. So boom, you can see there, where would your stop loss be again? Your stop loss would be above this area here, because this is the area where the sellers were. So it's inversed for you now because the sellers. It'd be here. It won't be this red zone here. No, it won't be here, because you can put it here, but if you get stopped out, it's because price can go back and retest this area. Remember, this was a buy area. The red one confirmed 2 was a buy area that turned to a sell area. So it can come back and retest and sell. Yes, you're going to get a super sniper entry if it goes here, smaller stop loss. I understand. But your safety net is the one above, because this is where prices, the sellers actually start to kick in. So price should not go and break this area. And if it does, it's telling you they're going in a different direction for now. Do you understand? So boom. So now we go here. And it's a bit of practice, people. I know some people might be like, John, I'm not sure which zone is it. And it's this. It's practice, guys and girls. You have to get practice with it. So you can change the colors to make it make sense for yourself. Usually I do that. I go here and I actually change my settings inverse. So I inverse my settings. So I have this as the gray ones, the bullish ones as the gray ones, and the red ones as the green one. It just makes it easier for my brain to understand. Because when I have it like that, wait for it to load out. Yeah, I always know that this is a sell zone, this was a sell zone, and this was a buy area. So my brain just works out easier that way. I just invert my bullish and bearish colors. So it makes it easy for myself to understand. Again, that's exactly how your brain works. So boom, I can see this was a sell area, and this is where my stop loss should be. And all of these were buy areas, and prices are just breaking them, going down. So here, again, we can target the ADR level and then see what happened with price. Boom, your TP was hit. This was a 6R trade. Do you understand what I'm saying, guys and girls? So this is obviously a breakout week in the market, as I explained to people, but you can see how easy that was to trade with Neo. All I had to do here is make sure I had my break of structure. My alert came through pretty much at the same time as my break of structure on the 4-hour chart, people. Not 1 hour, not 15, not 30 minute. 4-hour chart. This is for the Neo traders. Anybody else that just wants to use the idea of these breakup structures, they can trade however they want to. Completely up to them. Like I said, I've got a video on YouTube. That's a gold trading strategy, and they can trade it however magically they want to. That's completely up to them. You know, it'd be nice if you give me some credit if you make some money from it. That would be the least you can do, but some people might just run with it, whatever the weather in it. So, but for us, 4 hour time frame, and then you've got your breakup structure here, and then you've got your stop loss area, boom, 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 right above here. And then obviously you target your ADR levels, or of course you just target yourself what you want. There is no specific should price go to 2 or 3 risk to reward at the moment. But trading is what you make it. You can come out 1 to 1, you make the 1 to 1 people. The only problem we need to be working with is how often does it work. That's the only thing we need to care about. Do you understand? We get better and better, because this is a strategy I'm building. Once we get better and better, of course, we'll have exactly what we have with the normal Neo, where we have to buy and sell alerts. Do you understand? But yeah, literally, it's as simple as that, guys and girls. So there is more to it as well, because you can use different time frames, higher time frames, to establish certain things as well. But I'm not going to go into that in this Zoom call, because I think that would just take people to another level. They don't need to. The most I'm going to go towards is the daily, because I've realized that the 4 hour and the daily are very powerful. You can go into a weekly, but it gets a bit more confusing there. You have to be a bit more of an advanced trader to understand that. Okay, so when you go into the settings for you, Yusuf, when you ask this question, the only thing that should be bringing the confirmation zones here is any of these settings here. But I can see this one's already switched off for me. I'm trying to see. Because every single person should have this on. I'm trying to think why you wouldn't have it on. Yeah, everyone should have it on, because I didn't do anything. Literally, I kid you not. If I open the Neo and I just switch that on, it will just come on the confirmation zones. But if not, I'll double check that after. So I'm not searching through this for like 20 minutes. Yeah, I'll double check it after. But literally, if you switch on the new Neo, it should be there. Because literally, you know what actually happened with this? I didn't actually want to intentionally code this here. It was only for the other support and resistance confirmation zones. Then I switched these back on, and I realized that whatever I did with that coding actually just threw them onto this. So it should be there. Do you understand? I literally just switched it on and they were there. You understand? So I was just like, well, I'm not going to complain with that. That's a free upgrade, sort of thing. So yeah, so that's this one here. So obviously you get to see how the pairs do it. So we have the same thing. So if we go over to like USD CAD now, we go over to some other pairs that were traded this week. Yeah, boom. You see the same thing coming up here. Now, USD CAD wasn't one of the better ones when it did give you the entry for the possible trade setup. We'll go here just so you can see. Because remember, you don't have to worry about, but when do I get in the trade, John? What's going on? Neo tells you can set alerts for all of this as well, guys and girls. You can literally set alerts for all of this. Yeah, literally, you just go over to here. You go to, I can't do it in replay mode, but you can set alerts. Boom. Look. So we're not looking at USD CAD here. Boom. Boom. There you go. So USD CAD possibly was a continuation move. And the reason why is because we can obviously see on Friday it did break structure here at this level. It literally did already. Now, I don't want people to go into the idea of, oh, but it did it before, so that means it should sell now. Try and look for it to happen when you're actually waiting for the trade setup. For now, when we get better and better, we can start saying, okay, this one didn't have it, as you can see, until here. Yeah, it was there before. So basically, what break of structure direction are we in when the alert appeared on the 4 hour? So when the alert appeared, what break of structure, you've got the table down here if you switch it on as well. This is your show analysis table. Yeah, and just for anyone asking, because they're going to ask me, just go here. The settings are a bit mad, but just switch it off. It's ticked on, switch it off, and make sure it's in the bottom left. If you can't see the table in the bottom left, then go down. It should appear now because I've deleted some stuff from there as well, by the way, people. Yeah, deleted stuff we don't need. If you can't see the table, then go to, yeah, go to this one here, and then change this table to, move this table here, which is the strategy table. Move it from the bottom left to any place. It doesn't have to be switched on. It can be switched off, yeah? But just move it to a different direction, basically. So it's not in the bottom left as well. You can't have two tables in the same direction. It will just show you no table, is what I'm trying to tell you. Yeah, boom. So boom. So you can see here, obviously the table was like lighting up. The only reason why it came off is because I just adjusted the settings. So USD CAD was obviously a trade setup. Boom. So you can see here, boom, you can see the breakup structure did appear here. So technically we had two bearish breakup structures here. But it was already in a bearish structure trend. Now, again, I'm not telling people to start trading this from the get-go. As you get better and better, you're going to understand you're in a bearish trend, because obviously it's been bearish and it hasn't been bullish on the 4 hour. So if you've got an alert here before the break of structure in front of you today, let's say this is today, Monday, then yes, you could still possibly take this trade because it's a bearish trend. Do you understand? So boom. So again, it's the same exact setup here. What are we going to do? There's nothing crazy here. We're just literally going to get a short position tool and right here. So obviously this will be a bigger stop loss. Remember, it's replay mode is why we're getting the idea of this trade from the end of the candle. These alerts, and everyone can verify, they come way before. They will come, most of the time they will come from about quarter to halfway during the candle. It's when you get these alerts appearing. Do you understand? So let's just put ourselves from a halfway point of view. Then where did you say? Boom, you put your stop loss just above the area high, which is right here, the confirm zone, because this is where the high started from. Bullish, bearish, boom. So if price goes to break this area here, it's going in a different direction. So we already know that. And then what do? We just target our ADR levels and we wait to see what happens. Boom, 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 boom. You can see price hit our ADR level to the T. This is why these ADRs are crazy. How did price hit that ADR level to the T before reversing and started to buy with NFP today in the market? So yeah, you can see how that works. So does anyone have any questions based on what I've just said so far? There's still some more little teaching I want to do with that. But why these zones? But can you at least see why these zones are important and why they help you? And again, the arrows. Remember, we're looking at them like floodgates. So go ahead, people, if you've got any questions, please. So you can see how it's being used. Is this confusing for anyone so far, what I'm saying? I think the most confusing thing is when you've got multiple zones in the area and then you've got to kind of find, oh, was this the stop loss area or not? Because the break of structure is not confusing because you've got the arrows here to show you that it broke the structure. That's it. And the only reason you're confused with this, James, I'll tell you at the moment, is because you haven't been trading this with myself for the years. A lot of people have been trading this for like 2 years already. The idea of it, because we've been, before I did any of this Neo stuff, the first thing we always used was break of structure. So we look for a break of structure in the market. You understand? But remember, it's probably only confusing to you because you're seeing too many levels. Remember, people, this is one thing that I don't get. Is like we've got to be proactive when we have stuff, anything. Just make the levels less and go in replay mode and check it out, people. You'll see the levels will become less now. There'll be less levels. Boom. There's only two now. Does it look confusing to you now that there's only two levels here right now, or three? There's one here forming, one here, one here. Does that look confusing to you, James, when you look at it now? Candle. I'm still not quite getting your choice of one candle over another for SL. It's simple. There's not the choice of it. Pay attention to what I'm saying here. So Yusuf said you still don't get the idea of where your stop loss should be. Pay attention to what I'm saying. This is what you're missing, this point. Every time the candle formation, this is what you've got to get for yourself. There's a candle formation. Bullish, bearish is a high. That's why I put it at the beginning of the, not as much. So hold on one second. Go to the settings and check at the top where you see zone settings. You can lower the amount there. Go to your settings and check your zone settings, and you can lower the amount. It should say 5 as default. You can change it to 2, 3, or 4, whatever. Yeah. So boom, look here. Remember, candlestick pattern, and this is for anyone. This isn't only for neo traders. I'm giving you some hidden source here. So if you want to take it, you take it. If you don't, it's completely up to you. So bullish, bearish is a high being formed. This is, imagine, this is just a 4-hour 2-candle setup. But if you was to go to a 1-minute chart, this is a very big high on a 1-minute or 5-minute chart. Do you understand? Literally. So this is what you got to understand. This is a high being formed. When you have a bearish and bullish candle, it's a low being formed. So obviously, if you was getting into this trade here, we're going to take it back up here. This is where anybody's confusion will come from. And this is why I didn't switch on the indicator first and I taught you about it first. Remember, I could have just marketed my product. You understand? I didn't do that for everyone. I'm trying to teach people something and so they can know what the product has in it. You understand? As a shortcut. What do you see here, Yusuf? Bullish, bearish. So it's a high that's formed here. So if you're going to look for a sell trade setup, just as we've been taught from the day 101 of Forex, yeah? Let's just say you was entering your sell trade here. randomly. Let's just say randomly. Nothing to do with Neo. We just wanted to enter the cell. You're entering a cell here because you've just seen a high has been formed. So if a high has been formed, the stop loss is supposed to be above the high. Do you understand? And then look, boom. And if we do this, there you go. Can you see? Does that make sense to you now, Yusuf? And anybody else that might have been slightly confused? You have to pay attention to the candlestick pattern formation for yourself. This is why I never put the indicator on at first, because I did. People be like, I don't get it. I taught you. So anyone that's confused, you can go to this video. If you're still more confused, message me and I'll give you the gold trading video. That's 2 hours long of me just drawing it out before I ever had it built as an indicator. Do you understand? Boom. Remember, Neo's doing all of this for you automatically here, and it's also telling you here as well when structure's been broken, not when these highs have been formed. One of the other indicators we had before, the peak formation, you see PFL and all of that, that was actually showing us when these have been formed. So this is why I tell people that, or everything I use is something. But yeah, you got it now, Yusuf. What about you, James? Do you have that information? What I just said there, the candlestick pattern formation. Do you understand it, James? Just so I know. So you've got a bullish bearish candle for a high, and you've got a bearish bullish candle for a low. This is your stop loss areas. So whatever direction of trade you're looking for, this is what you should be looking for. So if you're looking for buys, you need to be looking for where the last bearish bullish candle was, and wherever that was, it's where your stop loss would be for buys. For sells, it will always be where the bearish bullish candle was. Does that make sense, James? Forget what the structure both looked like before. The structure looked. Forget what this is what you're doing. You're adding, and I can see it's a problem here. Focus on what I'm teaching you, not what you know. If that makes sense to you, yeah. Because I know there's a struggle with that when someone joins someone new. Do you understand? Focus on what I'm teaching you. Do you understand what I've just taught you here? Not what you know, what I've taught you. If you see a two candlestick pattern, bearish, bullish, it's a low. If you see a bullish, bearish, it's a high. Does that make sense to you? That's what I'm asking. Yeah? Cool. What you can't do is it's like you're trying to mix. You understand? If you're going to trade how you used to trade it on a separate account. Trade what I teach you on another account with Nia. Just so you can have your separate account for this is what I'm comfortable with because I've been doing this for 2-3 years, whatever it is. Let me trade it there. I make my X amount of percent on that. Now you trade separate from Neo and you can compare and contrast. So you can see for me, I've got like 4 different accounts. I'll trade different, and you've seen it. I trade different on hypergrowth to how the bot is now set up to trade to now how I would trade my bigger account for what I took on gold. Do you see my point? Trade it different ways because I didn't wait for the velocity breakout on gold. I just waited for the structure break just to see how supreme they can be. Do you get my point of that? So focus on what I'm teaching you is what I'm trying to tell you. So boom, this is where your stop loss placement would be in this setup. People need to understand that. And this is very important for you to get that. So, okay, now the idea of what I'm trying to teach you, moving forward from that, cool, is we'll go back over to USD CHF because this is an example of this. So what these actually are, and people will tell you, is like I realized straight away, it's a form of ICT trading, okay? Now, the form of ICT trading is that there's liquidity sweeps and liquidity runs. Now, this is what you call a liquidity run because we'll pay attention to USD CHF and we see how deep it went. So, okay, this is the deepest that went here. Cool. This is the deepest. Now, obviously, you don't want to get yourself caught in this situation. And what the break of structures doing actually, it's actually helping you here to show you when the liquidity sweep and the liquidity runs are happening. So you will notice when we have like the slower weeks, yeah, which was the week before this. Let me just put on this separator. Yeah, the weekly separator. You can see the previous week in USD CHF here, which is the full consolidation week. This wasn't a breakout week. This was a liquidity sweep this week. This is a liquidity run. You see the difference? Liquidity sweeps are like the continuation of a move that started, and then they're just going to sweep the move. As you can see, you look, they literally swept the move, and then now they started the liquidity run. Can you see? And what happened is there was a high and low in price here. So boom, boom, boom. There's another methodology that I'm trying to get to the methodology to make it simpler for you, but just for the sake of the video, so we can get to that. so we don't make it too hard. And I don't want to confuse people. This is something you can either learn to draw out yourself, yeah, these liquidity sweeps and these liquidity runs, but I will find a methodology to make it easier for you to pinpoint where they are, okay? But here was the high, and here was the sweep. And you might be saying to yourself, well, how did you know that? How did you know what was going on? How do you know they swept it and everything? Well, the funny thing is that the Neo is actually giving you an indication of when this is happening. So look here, people. If I'm lying, I'm flying. If I'm lying, I'm flying. And this is just on this. You can actually make this table bigger to see every individual pair on the screen. But let's just see if we get something from USD here. Boom. So USD is still a weak sell at the moment. Let's see. USD is still weak sell. We're still going here. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see if we get anything here. Boom. You can already see, and it's giving you a slight indication as well, people. Once one of the USDs are buying, CHFs are buying, look, all of them are coming up on the dashboard. NZD CHF, CAD CHF, GBP CHF. So even if it's not here, that's already a slight indication that this is probably going to buy anyway. Do you understand? That's one. I'm not telling you to go and take those trades. I'm just telling you it's common sense. If CHFs are buying because CHFs are pulling away from, CHF is literally going in one direction. So whatever it's crossed with is more than likely either not moving or moving slightly in the wrong direction, in the other direction, or it's moving aggressively. This is telling you that these ones were specifically moving aggressively. So anyway, boom. We haven't got our break of structure here, but like I said in the previous one, look, we had our break of structure here. So we're in a bullish trend. The table over here is already showing you. This is the 4-hour chart where it says chart. It's showing you bullish, yeah. And then we've got this bullish arrow here. Boom, for this buy continuation already. So boom, but if that didn't happen, when this confirmed zone would happen, boom. So here we've got our break of structure here, and you can see already what happened. As soon as, look at the floodgates. Can you see the floodgates I'm talking about, people? So imagine when you get it in sync nicely. Look, break of structure, floodgate was opened. You would have had a high rating on USD CHF here. And look, just for the sake of the video, just to show people. Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. We're just going to switch this on. This is what I'm saying. Like, imagine you've literally got, okay, you've got on your marks, then you've got get set, boom, and now you've got go. The other things are not part of on your marks, get set, go, stop loss, and take profit. That's trade management. But in terms of actually getting into your trade, you've got on your marks, which is this arrow. Then you've got this lighting up telling you get set. Do you understand? Pardon me. And then the rest of it is just, and then the goal is just literally you enter the trade. That's the goal. Do you understand? What is the table? What is the table in the lower left corner called in the settings? It's not currently on my chart, but it may be overlapping with something else. It's called show analysis, and I did say it briefly in the Zoom call. You go to show analysis table. I said it already. You got to switch this on, switch this off. Sorry, it might already be on. Switch it off. Like I tell people time and time again, there's 5,000 lines of code. I'm only one person doing all of this coding. So there's going to be some type of errors or something because, boy, we've got to put it together the best way we can. You understand? I'm not working with a team or anything, you know what I mean? So you're going to get some odd stuff sometimes, but it's not like I've just left anyone with it. I'm always here to help you in the group. So this one here, if it's switched on, switch it off and then just check it's in the bottom left. If you don't see it in the bottom left, move it somewhere else. And if you move it somewhere else and it appears, that means that one of the other tables is using the bottom left, even if it's switched off, and then just change it. So whatever the other one is, just change the direction of that and leave it switched off, and then put this back on the bottom left or wherever you want. It's your choice where you want to put it. Boom. So now here, we're going to go back to USD CHF. Here, look. I'm going to close this. Like, this is so easy, people. I kid you not. You just literally have your alert set up. And then when the velocity comes in, you go over to the pair and you just check if it's literally open the floodgates. Boom, this one's broken. Obviously, this candle closed here. Open the floodgates. Look, let's go here. I'm just going to check USD CHF. Yep, so it already tells me range by USD CHF. Outflow does say sell, though, at the moment. And it says the velocity is still lower. So this is why it never appeared, this pair on the dashboard. It never appeared, this pair on the dashboard, because obviously it wasn't, remember I told you there's 5,400 different mathematical equations. It never worked out those equations. So it never worked out those equations. So It never appeared here for the trade, but other ones did. We'll go over to one of them after. Yeah, but the common sense logic is if there are other CHFs buying here, then if we go over to where CHF is, where is it? Look, then all of these CHF should be buying, literally. So you can even see the velocity. If you look in closer, obviously you might not be able to see in this video, but if you look in, it tells you plus 7.0, plus 5.0 increase, plus 4 point something, plus 3.2. And these are the ones that were negative. Euro CHF, CFJPY, and USD CHF. No worries, Yusuf. Easily found that. So boom. But we can see here straight away that price has obviously decided to buy. So let's even go to another pair. Let's go to number one. AED-JPY, week buy. AED-JPY. We'll go to AED-JPY and let's see if we see the same setup. So here, this is good, just to show you guys and girls. Boom. It's the same as that, technically the same as that thing. What are we here? We're in a bearish trend here at the moment, even though it says sell. Don't pay attention to the sell, pay attention to the little red arrow. We're in a bearish trend. I'm just going to make this table smaller so it's not in our way. Yeah, so to make this table smaller, let's go over to here, table. Sorry, we just want to get rid of sorted matches. Yeah, boom. And we'll get rid of all of this. A lot of people ask me, how do I work this out? I'm trying to explain to you, you don't have to work it out. I've made Neo work out. Basically, Neo works out one thing to work out another thing, to work out another thing, to work out the fourth thing, which is here. Literally, when this lights up yellow and green in a day, so the next trading day, so it'd be the trading day now. Obviously, if I went in replay mode, one of these could light up green in Asian session because the news. Sorry, not green. They'll light up yellow because of the news. Boom, that's a pair you can be looking at now because it's telling you that, hold on, while you're not paying attention to what the individual futures are doing for these cross of these pairs, it's telling you, hey, mate, price is pulling away from each other. Get ready for action. Because you're not going to be able, if you wanted to do this yourself without Neo doing it, you have to go to every individual, like 6N, 6S, 6J, 6B. You're going to have to go to them and individually look at them, pull them apart, and then work out a break of structure and then do all of this jazz. You're going to have to do so much stuff yourself. Neo's doing all of that for you automatically. So look here, boom. So where is our break of structure area? Just like I told you, so you can understand two ideas of this. For people like James, that maybe was a bit confused. We have a break of structure area here. You see, boom. Why is it a break of structure area? Because this was the last high that was formed. How do you know it's the last high? Bullish, bearish candle, bullish, bearish. So when price breaks this area, we're looking at continuations of buys. Now, if price was to go the wrong way once this 4-hour candle closes, price has to break this area here for continuations of sells based on the time frame we're looking at, which is the 4-hour chart. Do you understand? Boom. So what do we do? You can even see how I'm holding previous ones, but don't confuse yourself. For now, keep it simple. Pay attention to your most recent highs and lows. Yeah, boom. So what do we get here? Do we get a break of structure yet? Let's just see. Boom. Did we get one yet? Nope, we haven't had a break of structure yet. Let's see. So you can see how now, even though AED-JPY is buying and it came up with it, we never got a break of structure. And you can see what they tried to do here. They tried to break it with this candle. And this would have been good if they did, because that would have given you entries from here to be able to take long. They failed to break it. And you've got to be careful because look how many times, look, if you think I'm just chatting rubbish, I'm just trying to market some new learning of something to you. Look, if I'm lying, call me out. Look how long this level was here. I mean, look how strong this level was. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 rejections in this area. If you actually mark this area and go back in history, you see how strong it is. Look, even here again. Look here again. Do you understand? This is why you shouldn't disrespect them. Don't try and enter early because they will pull this candle all the way back if they want to. Do you understand, people? If you wait for the break, it gives you a better confirmation. So boom. Now we never got a break of structure in that one. So let's just go back here and then look at another pair quickly and see which other ones we did. So this is how you can go back in replay mode and check this yourself as well. So you can see. So we had, what's the next one? So we had AED-JPY. What was number 2? NZD-CHF. CHF. Let's see. Boom. Can you see? So the table's telling you when this happened. You would not be watching all of these pairs. The table automatically telling you when this is happening. We're getting alerts for this. Now, what do we see here? Here's the last high. Here's the last low. Yeah, mine is set to 3 at the moment. That makes it this clear. I'm gonna have mine on like 5 certain times. Sometimes I don't even have to have it on because I know how to draw the zones. But it is good to have it on because sometimes your eye might miss a zone. But look, no, mine's even set to 2, so you can see. That's how I've got this type of clarity. So maybe start on 2 for now for you guys and girls, and then work your way out from there so you can learn how to get better. My zone settings is set to 2. And then you have to make sure here you extend it to the right because when it first is booted up, it will be on both. Change it to the right. Yeah. It's literally just there. I kid you not. Like there's not even anything crazy, Clyde. Nothing crazy. It's literally 2 buttons. Like if everyone just goes to the zone settings is only this big. Look how big it is. So this is why sometimes I'm like, bro, everyone could just get proactive with it. Like literally just go and play with it. Zone settings and just play with it. That's it. There's no special settings. I know some people will ask me, oh, can you send me settings? Can you do this? And I don't have a problem with it, but obviously if I don't get to them within the day or whatever, they're gonna miss the whole trading session or whatever. But it's literally just zone settings and it's only that big. Keep everything simple. Change it to 2, change your colors, whatever way you want to have them for your visual representation. This is generic, 80s, default, and then just make it right. You understand? But literally, whenever you go, just go to the settings there. That's it. So you should be good. So that's what I say. I'm just trying to say we don't have to overcomplicate that. It's very simple. You understand? I know someone else is going to ask me in a group after the Zoom. Can you share me this? You're going to see it. I'm going to laugh. You have to just go to it. So boom. So anyway, now you can see straight away. And this is not my. Sometimes you might see me with 16 of these on the chart. People, you remember what I tried to tell someone else when I was doing a one-on-one is that I have to stress test everything. So you guys are never going to always have the same settings as me. It's not possible because I'm going to have different things all over my chart. Because if I'm not going to be able to show you these type of Zoom calls. You understand? So boom. So anyway, now we've got this one here, and we've got this break of structure. When we have this break of structure, boom, what do we see here? Look, remember, it told us to look for this buy. Now, what do we do here? We just go here. We would have been entering here. Where's our stop loss? Now, stop loss has to be a bit bigger here, but it's not even that big. It's 28 pips. Why is our stop loss down here? This was the last low. Bearish, bullish, the last low. Don't have to confuse yourself. Your stop loss is not going to be here. It's not going to be here. Pay attention to what you're looking at, people, yeah? Bearish, bullish. This was the last low, not this one here, yeah? Not this one here. You'd be like, but there was a zone here. Why couldn't you can put it there? But if you get stopped out and you show me a chart, I'll say that wasn't the last low. The last low or high was here. Yeah, pay attention. You have to pay attention. Don't just get excited. Pay attention. The last low was here. This was the low before that. You can see in bearish, bullish here. This was the last low. Yeah, cool. So you put your stop loss here. Now, price action. Let's just see where it goes to. Let's just take our. Let's try and see if we can go to a 1 to 2 in this. Let's see what happens. Boom. So this is pretty much the end of the trading day. We're going into Tuesday now. So literally, we didn't get all the way through the trading day. This was Tuesday, and this just gave you just under our 1 hour. So this one here wasn't the greatest trade. Fair enough, but let's just see what it does. I think this trade sold. Yeah, boom. So here, if you went to ADR 1, you'd have to go to at least a 1-to-1 for yourself. Boom. So this wasn't the greatest trade in the world. That's fine, but it still gave you at least a 1-to-1 in this trade. Do you understand? It didn't lose. That's all we care about. It didn't lose. It got you profit. You had time to put break even. You had time to, do whatever you want in order to get this trade working. They gave you at least your 1-to-1 in this trade setup. Boom. So you're good for that trade. Now, but you pay attention to how it moves as well. I want you to see that. Look what happened here, guys. It created a new low, bounced off of that low, broke through that one, created a new high, pulled back to that high, the previous one, and then if it wants to keep buying, it can now continue, or it will break through. If it breaks through this level here, we'll go for a sell. Or if it breaks through this level here, if it closes like that, look, watch. If it breaks through these levels, we're going for sells. If it breaks these highs here, we're going for buys. What are we going for, people? What do you think the market's going to do now? Please tell me in the chat. What do you think it's going to do now, people? Cool. Let's pay attention to it. Everybody said so. Let's see what it does. There you go. Can you see what it's starting to do? Look. Can you see what it's starting to do? Can you see how significant these levels are? That's what I'm trying to show you. Look what it's doing, people. All from the fact of just that one level. So you have to go back to what I explained to you from the beginning of the Zoom to understand it. Now I'm just telling you, Neo's showing you this automatically. Do you get the point of it? Literally, it's showing you it automatically. There was nothing wrong with my break of structure strategy from, like I told you, from the gold video. I'm sure there's people still from today that are probably not in the group no more, run away with it and they're just trading gold like that. And they're not even saying anything. Do you understand? I'm sure there is. There's nothing wrong with it. The problem I had with it, yeah, is that I wanted to know, okay, how do I identify when there's fake outs? So this is why I needed to add more and more. And so now you can see that with the velocity in your direction, with what we can already see works because it's market structure, you've now got a better chance of a trade setup. I'm just going to go to questions. Okay, so prior to entering this trade, there was a couple of options for bullish and bearish candles to set as a stop loss. As which one would you have been? There wasn't a couple of options. There was only one option. Why would there be a couple of options in this current sell you're talking about right now? Why was there a couple of options? Just so I know. Are you talking about this sell as well? Just so I know. Mm-hmm. Let me know, Yusuf, if you're talking about this. James, I still need to know what you're struggling with here. If you say, have you left? I'm not too sure if you left or you're still here. Because I need to know what you're struggling with here. It's only a two candlestick formation. There is two different ways, bullish bearish and bearish bullish. It's going to create a high or a low. There's nothing crazy about this, literally. There's nothing that you'd have to. I'm not saying don't go over again, but there's literally nothing crazy about it. So obviously I can't see if Yusuf's typing. Look at the Oracle zone. There's a bullish bearish candle at the top of the zone. Yes, of course. So you're looking at there's one here and there's one here. Now, obviously, for you to take this trade setup, let's just say you was just trading this without no injection in the market. You know, always take really trading is based on how you want to trade it. It's not really what's the correct one. We can't say that because there is no such thing as a correct one. It's how you want to take it and what you're willing to risk. What you would have done here is clearly have put your trade here, had your break of structure here, boom, and then look to target lower. That's it. You've got your break of structure alert, you've got your zone alert, and then boom, this is where you take it. Remember, this is the Oracle zone, as we already know about the Oracle zone. If you don't know about that, please watch the other Zoom calls. They're all on my YouTube channel. Yeah, and I know that because somebody else just joined recently, watched it, and understands the Oracle zone because they watched the YouTube videos that were there. So the Oracle zone tells you that this is the highest probability of a buy or sell area in the day. Now, what you can see is the break of structure bearish in that day for the from the Oracle zone. Because price is already in it, came out of it, broke structure. This is the zone. Now, of course, you could say, okay, but I could put my stop loss here. No, what I would do is if I'm in this trade, and let's say this trade started to go negative, let's say my stop loss is here. Yeah, sorry. And this trade starts to go negative, then boom, let's say the trade starts buying up now and it closes above here. Now, this is my first sign that this trade isn't going good. If it closes above the one that was up here, then that's 100% telling me that this trade is going the wrong way, regardless if it comes all the way back down. Now I can close my trade. Remember, I don't trade with a stop loss. I never trade with a stop loss. I always tell people that I'm never ever trading with a stop loss. But this would give me a imaginary stop loss. Okay, broke this level, this don't look too good. Okay, broke this level here, this don't look too. How many levels do I want it to break before I say, okay, let the trade go? Do you understand where I'm coming from? That's what you do. That's the best way to do it. So I wouldn't say there is a correct one and there isn't a best one. There is how do you manage your trade? And that's why I'm trying to tell you, you need to understand how the zones are formed so you can get that once they're forming like this, I know. Because remember, if you set it to like setting free now, you're going to not see the other one. So you're not going to realize as a beginner to the under the logic of what I'm telling you, there is a zone here. Do you understand? I was still here. Did everyone else hear what I just said there? I just said the whole explanation. That's what it is, James. Exactly that. As long as you watch the trade, you can you can literally you don't have to sit there and watch it like a mad person, but you know, if you're checking your trade every other hour or something, or every hour, you can watch it. And remember, it's 4 hour candles. Um, you just went out now. Okay, I don't understand what happened there because I was I believe James heard me anyway. Maybe some people didn't. But yeah, what I said is that there is no best one, Yusuf. There's no best one. There's how do you manage a trade. This is the first one. This is the first one because right in front of you. right here. Now, if it obviously breaks this level, if you do not have a stop loss, like I don't, you don't have a stop loss, if it breaks this level and closes above here, your get out would definitely be this one up here, because how many levels do you want it to break before it tells you, hey, mate, we're not selling now? Do you understand? Regardless if it goes to do it later. So this is your first like warning. So now you've even got with stop loss placement, you've got warnings. You either have it here, lose the trade and say, yep, goodbye, or you wait for it to break this one. And if it also breaks this one, bro, let the trade go. You're better off coming, because it's not going to do this every single time it appears, especially when you put it with the velocity as well. So if you've got this type of setup appearing with a sell velocity, it's not going to do it 25 times in a row where you just blow your whole account. You understand? Yeah, that's why. So obviously, if it does keep buying, that's why you'll get out. So boom. So you get the idea of it. So this is literally what you do, guys and girls. Yeah, boom. So now it's telling me on this day here, AEDCHF strong buy. There you go. Yeah. Let's see. Boom. So we can already see here. This is how, and why I'm trying to teach you guys and girls. This is why I want you to get this, James, as well, because obviously I know you're not struggling, but you're still trying to get your head around this version of Neo. The signals is obviously they're just signals. They tell you buy now, stop loss now, take profit. Remember, this is to get you better accuracy in those signals. The signals that already produce themselves in Neo, buy and sell signals, are 40 to 60% win rate on average throughout every single trading instrument. I've done vigorous back testing with it. Now, this version, I'm trying to get Neo those basically those signals to 70 to 80% win rate, because you get to filter out the 60% losers or the 40% losers based on the 40 to 60% win rate of Neo giving you buy and sell alerts. Do you understand? So now, boom, so let's go to ADCHF. So this is an example. Imagine this is a buy trade continuation. Cool. Now, if this is a buy trade continuation, you can already see here what can you see from this setup straight away? We know that it's told us it can buy, but what can you see? What is wrong with this trade setup, people? If you're paying attention to it. What's wrong with this trade setup? Now, what is wrong? We've come to this pair because this is the problem people have. I know there's one person in my group I'm going to call out people. There's IES is going to message me, and I've got 2 years worth of history of me trying to teach them trading in direct messages. People, 2 years. Yeah, you will come to me and say, okay, I don't understand what Neil's doing. I don't understand how to look at this. What's the problem straight away? But not just bearish. Okay, hold on. There we go. I think Yusuf had the best answer there. No, Yusuf said because it had a red arrow. Now the red arrow means it's we're in a bearish break of structure. Once you've got your remember, people, you don't have to stress yourself out. You've got this table here. This was the analysis table I already created in there. This is telling you here that there was a bearish break of structure on the 4 hour chart 2 candles ago. So we're not bullish. So if this is not bullish and we've got a buy signal here, it's telling you that the floodgates are not open yet. The floodgates are not open. So why are you going to look? Do you understand? Why are you going to now look to take the buy trade setup, even though this is telling you? So I'm not saying it doesn't mean it can't buy, but it's telling you that there's a resistance here, even with that buy. So let's just go. Boom. Let's see what happens in this trade. Nope, it didn't break yet. Can you see? So this is how somebody would tell me the velocity table doesn't work, John. But no, this can you see the difference? Look what's doing. Did you see that, guys and girls? You saw all of that. If I'm lying and fine, look how strong these zones are. This is why I was like, brainwave. I've been trying to tell you guys for the last couple of days. I'm like, I don't know why I didn't look at this. There you go. Thank you, James. So now you can see the buyers and sellers are trapped. So the same way we have the sniper zones, this is just like another method of it. This was my method of it before even learning more about order flow. But I just used to call them break instructions. I literally called it break instructions, but really and truly, they're actually order flow areas. Do you understand? I'm the one who created it and just said break instruction. An internal break instruction, but it's literally like what I explained at the beginning of the Zoom. They're order flow areas. It failed to even break higher, failed to, when it created a new high, as you can see, bullish bearish candle there, it failed. So you can see here, bullish bearish candle, it failed to break this level. So I think this is a very important Zoom call for many traders, not just the Neo traders. That's why I say people that are watching this that don't have Neo, you need to pay attention to this because it can save you a lot in trades. It failed to break. So if it was gonna buy, we would have waited and it would have broke above here, gave us a green arrow, and then it more than likely would have continued. Do you understand? So it failed. So let's go here. Let's just see. We've got GBP CAD. Let's go over to GBP CAD and see. Now look at the difference, guys and girls. Yeah. So we're going to go back here for GBP CAD. We're going to go back here and see what happens. Boom, boom, boom. Right here. So GBP CAD is not on the board, but you can see, boom, market has broke structure. It's told you the direction it wants to go. We've got USD CAD strong buy, but we haven't got GBP CAD. You see that GBP CAD comes in. So GBP CAD would have come in this candle here as it was moving down. You would have got, you can even see how Neil's trying to give you so alert. So as this candle's moving down, yes, you could have taken, you could have looked at this trade. And it's not the fact that this trade can't keep selling. And I want to show you these types of trades because this is common trading knowledge. Somebody will say, John, it said sell. I'm going to enter. But why are you going to give yourself a trade entry? Let's say worst case from here. And then your stop loss is all the way up here. That's 161 pip stop loss. Are you going to take that trade? Does it even make sense mathematically? Yeah, the ADRs are beautiful TP levels. You know, I told you I've been trying to get ADRs this perfect on trading people for 5 years, people, and I finally got it. I was so gassed when I managed to do it. I swear down for 5 years because the ADR, this is what I've been screaming. And people that have been with me for long, they know I've been saying ADR, ADR, ADR. I've been trying to get them for so long. I'm so glad I could give it out to you guys and girls. Um, but yeah, boom, you can obviously see here, this wasn't great. It was a great break of structure trade based on what I've told you. This is why I said it's so amazing. Because look, when it broke structure, you can see what it did. Do you understand? But for the velocity with this, it wasn't good. Now, if you were on a lower time frame, the 1 hour chart could have given you. So all of my velocity alerts are set. Yeah, you can set alerts on there. I set to the 1 hour because I want to know the impulse before we start getting the 4 hour impulse. So I can make a decision based on what I'm showing you here. If I put a 1 hour alert for velocity and I can see it just broke structure on the previous candle, there's a very good chance it's going to continue and go into a 4 hour velocity as well of a powerful move. Do you understand? Martin, so this is why I have the 1 hour set. So I can now go and I can be like, okay, floodgates are open because there's a green or red arrow there. Velocity is kicking into the market. I've also probably got a Neo signal for a buy or sell here. Prices come off of the Oracle zone as well. I'm doing all my checks. I can see everything. I'm like, why am I not going to take this trade? What else am I waiting for here? There is nothing else. Realistically, it's either going to win or lose from this point. Do you get it? And this is why I said it's very, it's a very, very good point because you will see that some of the losers we've had, price literally failed to just break these areas. They just failed like multiple times. So yeah, boom. So obviously this wasn't a good sell trade. Now let's go over here to gold. Mhm. Boom. So you can see I've already been marking it out on gold here, but this is there. Let's go to current market so we can see it. Current market is trying to destroy us right now. I haven't even checked my gold trade. I could not get away with this. Do you know how many times I'm trying to do Zoom calls, trade gold, and gold just wants to do what the hell it likes while I'm in the Zoom call? I kid you not, people. I've tried so hard to do Zoom. I was like, let me do it this time. London session was the best time I could have done it with us buying. Then I said, let me just wait a second. London session before New York, it started to reverse. So I'm like, now I go watch this. Because the day before I traded gold for buy, it didn't work. I'm just checking my accounts quickly, people. So that makes sense. Gold is just odd one. Yeah. So currently we're negative in gold and you're still holding it from the entry I gave. But look at this, people. You'll see now. Yeah, I'm going to remove all of this so you can even see how I did it. So you can see the problem I had with gold yesterday when I tried to trade gold is there was a zone here. Here, the zone was here. The zone was here, bullish, bearish candle. So I told everyone low risk, don't enter. And the reason why I told them low risk because we didn't break above this area. I was trying to catch the breakout because we all know that the better entry you get in gold for the buy or the sell, obviously the less drawdown you have to hold. Everybody wants that better entry. We all know that. Do you understand? So boom. So I was like, no. So obviously it held this area and didn't want to bypass this area. Now you can see it even created another area here where the market, this is what happened. No, let's keep this area here. Yeah, keep this one. Boom. It even created another area here. This is with the sell it did yesterday where I had to close my trade on gold. Boom. Because you can see, boom, this was the Newsweek and NY session. But you can see again, if I'm like, look, this area is so strong and this is a 4 hour area. So imagine what the daily version of these areas do, the weekly version of these areas are doing. monthly version of these areas are doing. Yeah, boom. So strong couldn't break it. But now we've got the break here. This is when John said to you all in London session today. Let me just get rid of this so it's a bit clearer. When we got the break here, John said to you all, okay, guys and girls, what are we doing? Well, then we've got to get in this trade for look for the buyers and look what happened. Well, this was from when I gave the signal out from here to here. This was a 500 pip move, basically. 500. Yeah, you understand there's points. It's a bit different on gold. Really and truly, it's about 54 pips. If you break it down, it's a bit different on gold. Gold's weighed a lot heavier. So, yeah, but you can see the point. Let's just call that a 54 pip move straight away. Just from what? Before, I didn't have a velocity alert on gold, just based on this break of structure. That's how important they are. And then you can see even when NFP struck, just to show you again how strong they are, look, NFP didn't break the bullish bearish candle. The last bullish and bearish candle that formed, NFP never broke it. Can you see? All it could do is bounce there. So, and you can see what it's doing here. So really technically, gold has just gone back to retest this level one more time. So for us to know that gold is an absolute failure of a trade, obviously some of the accounts I can't hold because I'm trading crazy risk in them for the account size. Yeah. Boom. It has to break this low so far. If it breaks this low, then yeah, gold's going down. It's going to just keep selling. But right now, all it's doing is it's broke the high, retested this level, and then now we should be hopefully seeing a buyback up. But obviously, market open, they just want to be a Judas and they just slowed gold down. You understand? So, what is James said? It's still a buy. Yeah, it's definitely still a buy. Now I'm going to show you this one quickly here. Yeah, we go over to the daily time frame. You see what I'm saying now, people, where it starts to open your mind even more. Like, whoa. So what has gold done on a daily time frame now? It's automatically set to chart these zones. So when you go up time frames, you can see this is literally boom. So you might as well call these break of structure zone or a BOS zone. Yeah, just in the chat so we can all understand what we're saying. So you can just call them BOS zone has been broken or is forming or yeah, literally like that. So price, you can say price is trapped in a BOS zone. So you can see this is what happened yesterday. Price never broke. Can you see how they did it? Look how they're just trying to trick you. They never broke the bullish bearish candle because that was, imagine if the 4 hour one was that strong, how strong must the daily one be? And this is why we've got this ridiculousness with NFP. I couldn't break it down to you guys and girls in the group whilst we're trading it because obviously look how much I've had to explain. So people would have been like, I don't get it if I was trying to type it to you. So look, this is the daily version. You see? So now what do I see on gold? So boom. But to be fair, we haven't even broken this one. You see, there's two technically. There's one here as well. Boom. This is one here. Do you see? This is where it's struggling. So they can't break this one. So they've created one here, two here. Do you see what's going on now, people? So if they do break it, it will break, retest, continue. This is what we're waiting for. But this is it's more than likely because of CPIs on Friday. You understand? So I'm just trying to add more to it. So let's just see. Let's go to the weekly chart. Let's just see what we see on gold here. Now here, this is what makes it even worse, guys and girls. Remember what I just told you. So if that's the daily chart, yeah, let's switch this off to see why it's all green in the background. Yeah. If that's the daily chart, now look what we see here. We see this. Give me 1 second, guys and girls. 1 second. Now, what do we see on the weekly chart? This is why gold seems to be trapped, real trapped, because look how big the weekly zone is. So if they're going to break this, we obviously what they're going to do is a massive buy. But if not, they could reject from this level. And you can see here previously, this is just me giving you jokes. I'm just showing you the joking version. Look what happened. There's a resistance level here. Look what happened when price broke it. Boom, retest. Look at the continuation. You can see? Are you on Awanda, by the way? Are you looking at this, and are you on Awanda? That's another thing, James. And there can't be a green arrow underneath it because it hasn't even broken structure yet. I don't think these arrows, I'm pretty sure these arrows don't appear until it actually breaks structure. So you must be looking at different arrows. Are you sure you're not looking at these buy and sell arrows or something? But you get the point, people. Look at this. You can see it now. Boom. Look at it on a weekly. This is what I said. So we'll go more into these ones later on. And these will help us find those when the breakouts happen. Look what happened here. You see? When it broke above that one, the bullish bearish candle, the bullish bearish candle here. Look at the buy. Boom. That's a weekly break of structure bullish. Look. And it did this one. Boom. Can you see? This is why I'm trying to tell you. So if the 4 hours that strong, you can imagine what the weekly is doing when it does it. Do you see? Does that make sense for you, guy and girl? Sure, that's right. Okay. Just gonna go check Telegram quickly. Give me a second, people. Yeah, that's not a break of structure alert. That's a buy alert. That's what I said. It's a buy alert, mate. You got to buy. You've got a buy alert. And yeah, you're not using a Wanda. That's one. You're not using a Wanda. That's one. And two, that's a buy alert. That's not a thingy break of structure alert. And that's because of however your buy alerts are set to. You haven't probably set your buy alerts how I've explained to you to do it. You have to change it to chart, your anchor table. Your anchor table set to chart, then you're going to have it. All the settings are generic. So then it will make them the exact same as mine. I've got two because I've got two tables. So I've got one that's got extreme filters on my buy and sell alerts, and then the other one that's just basically the most basic version of them, which everyone should have. Everyone should have the most basic version. But technically, we don't even need that now, is what I keep trying to tell everyone, because we've got the velocity alerts. We don't even need it. You understand? The velocity alerts tell us when to get into it. We don't have to wait for this as well. If you get what I'm telling you here, break of structure, price is giving you. Imagine this is what we get, you know. So let me go here. There was ADCHF, I believe. There's one. Let me show you. We're gonna go here. I'm gonna go to the 4 hour time frame. You know, yeah, this is a neo signal, I believe so. Look, you can see here. So let's go here. I've just switched off my position tool. I switched it off. So boom. Then we go here. We go okay. We go to show information box. Then let's wait for it to load up. Yeah. I believe there was one on ADC at Jeff. We'll double check. Cool. Let's go to the daily and see if there was a daily. Yeah, so this is why. So now I've set my, it's like hard to explain, but I set mine to the 15-minute chart just to make sure I don't miss alerts. But there is no, there is no daily IFEG. So I can already tell that there is no Neo alert here. Boom. There's supposed to be a daily IFEG break here. So technically you'll get a Neo alert once it breaks this area here, basically. That's when you'll get a Neo signal. So we don't have one. But when you get Neo signals, let's go to CAD JPY. CAD JPY. This is the last one I took, so everyone can see. Or USD JPY is even a better one. Let's go to USD JPY because that one is there. And USD JPY. We'll go here. I'm sorry if you can hear my son snoring in the background. He's tired, very tired. Obviously, it's bedtime. It's 11 o'clock. We have to deal with that. Boom, boom, boom. I joined a bit late. And the confirmed number, don't worry about that for now. There's no point because it doesn't mean anything specific based on what I've taught for this whole Zoom. Confirmed numbers, remember, they just mean how strong or how weak a zone is, but that's not based on I should only trade with this. No, don't do that. So there's no point going into all of that logic, literally. There's literally no point. So you don't have to worry about that. It's literally showing you, oh, this zone has been rejected. The more rejections, obviously, the stronger the zone is. But there is no, don't trade if it's one, don't trade if it's this. There is nothing like that. So you don't have to worry. No worries. Cool. Look at this now. So we're going to go. You can already see this is the buy and sell alerts for anyone that maybe was in the Zoom and hasn't seen on Neo. Yeah, we'll go here. Boom. So we got it from Tuesday. So let's go here. I still need to just tweak those buy and sell alerts a bit, but I'm more concerned on us making money than worrying about them appearing on the chart the next day and there. they shouldn't be there. Do you understand? Because you shouldn't be taking them anyway. You should know that. Boom. We obviously know the rules to this because there's many Zoom calls on the buy and sell alerts. Boom. You can see here. What do we see here, guys and girls? Look perfectly. Look at this winner. Look, we got a Neo alert. This is how you should be trading the setups if you're an absolute beginner, to keep it easy for you instead of just trading everything all over the place and getting yourself confused. You don't need to stress yourself because Neo's going to tell you which trades to buy and sell. I've set the alerts back so everyone's got these, so it'll tell you when these alerts appear. You'll set these alerts to the 4 hour time frame, yeah, so you can get the alert notification. Now, the only thing with that sometimes is what happens, it only gives you the alert after the 4 hour candle's closed. So it will give you this alert once this candle is closed here, this 2 hour candle, and sorry, this 4 hour candle. So that can obviously be an issue sometimes because if the market just wants to open and just start selling, then obviously you've got your alert here and price has already started selling. Do you understand? I know that's something I'm going to look into. But what I've done is I've just set mine to the 15-minute chart. But then I set my alerts to the 15-minute chart, and then I go to the 4 hour chart. Just to check. Just making the 4 hour chart. Sorry, I just had to stop that snoring. That snore was getting crazy. The snore was getting crazy. So I go to the 4 hour chart basically after my 15-minute alert has appeared, just so I can make sure I get my alert at market open. So I usually get my alerts around 15 to 30 minutes of market open. And then I go to the 4 hour just to check it's there, basically. So boom. So anyway, now you can see here, look. So we see this. Now let's wait and see. Now we can see that this is a sell. Now this should be saying negative, and I'm still going to double check this again because coding is annoying sometimes. It's supposed to be saying negative 1.52, not plus 1.52. Yeah. So I did fix some of it. So I did get it better. But again, this is coding. I'd have to go vigorously check so many things to make sure it's working before I give it to you. So I'm going to double check that again now anyway, just to make sure. But yeah, this would say negative 1.52, but this is the sell you can see here. So you would get an alert right here telling you that, oh, price is pushing down. As soon as we got this alert, I even gave this trade out. As soon as we got this alert, I gave it out. Price is rejected from the Neo zone already from market open. We've got a velocity alert here. Yeah, boom. Yes, it's not a 2.0 or 3.0. I understand. Yes, it's not yellow. But remember, we already know before all of this existed, we would have just traded this anyway. We even would have traded it from here before all of this existed. So we're not overcomplicating anything here. But now it's also just so we can be sure. Look at what I've taught you here. You can see, boom. Remember, you don't even have to put your stop loss up here no more, guys and girls, because what I'm teaching you now, you could literally have entered here and put your stop loss here now, because this was the last time. You see? Boom. So we've got that alert. And now what we're doing, we're targeting the ADR level. So let's just target this one down here. Boom. This is a 1 to 3 hour trade, but we can take a 1 to 2, whatever we want. Now you can see we're in the trade setup. Boom. Boom. Now we're getting it. You see, it should look like this. I think the reason why it don't look like that is that it only looks like that when the yellow ones appear. Can you see? I've seen how the error in the coding is there. So it needs to appear when even it's not yellow. But you can see here it says strong sell minus 3.5. So you can see, boom. So now we've definitely got an alert popping up. Boom. And even if you entered from there, obviously your stop loss wouldn't have been the greatest. It would have been a lot higher up, but boom. You can see. Now I can't fabricate this, people. You had your break of structure, which was there. So how you're supposed to take the trade is simple. You had your Neo alert. You can already confirm that you've had your 4 hour break of structure. You've got your velocity increase. You understand? You had a weak one at first, but it was still one point. It was a velocity surge. You had a velocity surge during Asian session to tell you, hey, there's a possible entry coming in here. You had your definite one after the candle obviously went down here. Yeah. And this is why, again, I say I go to the 1 hour chart to set my alerts, because that same 1.52 on here was probably a 2.5 on a 1 hour chart, which is good. Do you understand? It's still good. 2.5, 3.0 is good. That's what I've seen. Yeah. Obviously, if you wait for just the 3.0s, you will get the better trades. I want everyone to know that. And this is what I have to filter out over time. So you will get the better trades, but there will be less trades. That's all there is. So you wait for better trades and less trades, or you trade more, but understand that we're still testing and you may lose some trades if you go to the 1 hour and wait for a 1 hour 3.0 or 2.5 entry on the velocity table. Do you get it, guys and girls? So remember, you're testing with me. So I don't expect anyone to be blowing their accounts. I expect them to be trading sensibly with their accounts whilst doing this until I confirm. Once the strategy is completed, it's going to look like this. It's just going to look like a buy or sell alert. Do you understand? You're not going to have to worry about, oh, but I've got to check this and I've got to do that. No, but again, I'm one man coding all of this with a family, obviously, as well. You understand? So I can't do it all day long, no problem, every second of the day. I have to. I don't have 5 people coding with me, you understand? So we just have to be patient on while I build it. And whilst I'm building it, I'm trying to update you on what I would look to trade when I see it. Simple. Alert, break of structure, velocity alert, boom. Every single thing here has already got an alert. The only one that I've taken off the alerts is these arrows, but you don't need an alert for them because you can just see if they're there. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like literally, I can add the alert back there, but you don't really need to stress. And probably just for the sake of it, I'll try and add the alerts there on the next update. Just so anyone can say, can we have an alert back for this one? Yes. But imagine I can literally have an alert for the break of structure, an alert for the signal, an alert for the velocity, enter the trade. Do you see how simple it is, guys and girls? There's nothing you have to do that is mad overcomplicated because everything is based on an alert. Literally, just for the sake of it, just to make it easier, I will add these alerts. Do you know, like that after the Zoom call? But everything is just alert based. So, does anyone have any questions on what I said? This is the perfect trade setup here. You had, boom. The only thing that was probably not the most perfect of this is the first entry on the 4-hour chart wasn't a yellow dashboard. That was it. And that was the only thing that was like, but is this really a good trade? Do you get what I'm saying coming from people? So yeah, any other questions based on that? You literally get alerts for buy and sell signals, so you don't have to even look at what pairs are going to do the trade. This will tell you. You get the alert for the velocity. You enter the trade with the velocity. I've taught you how to use a tighter stop loss based on this, or you use the neo stop loss that's already there. Again, you're going to have an alert for these break of structure arrows. They were there before, but I took them off. I don't think it went off by accident, but I did back. Does that make sense? Again, I'm just trying to make it clear for everyone. This is all you have to do, and every single week we have trades. Like every single week. Every single week. It's going to GDP USD. But please, if you've got any questions, let me know. Yeah, so GDP USD don't want to go any further. The velocity alerts is like this. So you go to, let me come out of replay mode. So we're just going to answer this question. I didn't even see that. Somebody messaged me. So somebody messaged first. That's how many times price pulled back. Okay, to the zone. Okay, that's for the confirmation zones. I think I don't know if you messaged that to Assad by himself. You might, okay, you did because he liked it. I'll take it. Okay. So somebody asked about the confirmation zones, and obviously I explained that you don't have to worry about that, but it's just how many times price is rejected from one of the zones. Somebody else has asked, can you please go through the velocity settings? So boom, you go to add alert, you go to add alert. When you go to add alert, you've got all of these alerts here, yeah? See here. So I've even made it better for people with, for the position tool, that's this here, for the buy and sell alerts with the stop loss take profit entry. You can either have a buy or sell alert, yeah? Or you can set it as any. So it'll tell you whether there's buy or sell. So it's better to always use any. So this should be set up to a watch list. So set this up to a watch list like this. If you've got premium trading view, whatever pairs you create and put in a watch list, you set this alert up, boom. So now any one of these buy and sell things that come up here, boom, yeah, you're going to get them. Make sure you set that to the once per bar close, boom, and you set it to the 15-minute time frame. Hear what I'm going to tell you again. Please open your mind. As they say, open your mind. Yeah. You're going to use it on a 15-minute time frame. I'm telling you to do this so you don't get a late alert. If you open it on a 15-minute time frame, do not trade it based on the 15-minute time frame. Do not trade it based on that. Go to the 4-hour chart and confirm that this signal appears. Step 1. Simple. So you can go to the Zoom and watch that. Step 1. Step 2. Now the next thing you're going to do is go and set yourself the velocity alerts. Yeah. There will be another alert for the break of structure, but it's not here. It will just be like bearish break of structure, bullish break of structure. So you can set that alert as well. That will be set to, that one's better for it to be buy or sell, because if you've got this alert and it's told you buy trade or sell trade on this pair, well, you're obviously not looking for the opposite break of structure. So you're better off setting the signal to that break of structure. You're going to set it. So imagine this is the break of structure alert. Imagine, listen to me. We've already set the Oracle tool on any. So we get every alert based on a watch list. It's on a 15-minute time frame, once per bar close. You go to the 4-hour to confirm it's there so you don't miss your entry. Yeah? Cool. Now we're going to have the arrow alerts. Let's just say this is the arrow alerts. Example. I haven't added it yet, but I will after the Zoom call. You add your arrow alert as well, just to make sure. Because if it's not there when you go to the chart, you're waiting for it, obviously. You're going to set a buy or sell arrow alert. It's not there now. It will be there after the Zoom. I have to talk like this, not to be condescending, but people don't listen to me when I say clear information. You're going to set your arrow alerts. That's the second step, yeah? Based on the trade direction of the Oracle tool. Is it a buy or is it a sell? So if it's a buy, you're going to set a buy arrow alert. It's going to be a buy BOS alert. It's going to be a sell BOS alert. So you're going to set a buy one, yeah? Boom. Now, the next thing you're going to do is set your alert for your velocity surge. So this is for any velocity surge, this one here, yeah? You don't want it to be bullish or bearish. You don't want it to be this tier one. You want any velocity surge, yeah? When you set this one, obviously your arrows you set to the 4-hour time frame. Remember, I've said that. For the velocity surge, set it to the 1-hour chart. So we go to hours. You set it to the 1-hour time frame. You set it once per look at this. Oh my God, what the hell? This went all haywire. We go back to the velocity alert. You set it to the 1-hour time frame. You set it to once per bar close. And once you set it to once per bar close, you're going to get a whole bunch of alerts like this. You see? You're going to get all of these alerts when they appears. You can see how many alerts I've had today in the market because the NFP jolted the market. Look how many alerts I've had. You see, people? Mad amount of alerts. Can you see? So, boom. Now, what you do to filter that, yeah, you set this up, that's fine. Cool. You go to create. Cool. So you've set 3 alerts, basically. You've got the position tool alert, the break of structure alert, the velocity alert. Yeah? Every one of them once per bar close. The only thing you change is your time frames. Again, you set your position tool to 15-minute, but you confirm that the trade is real on the 4-hour. You set your break of structure alert to the 4-hour chart because you're waiting for your 4-hour break of structure. You set the velocity alerts to the 1-hour chart so you can get a better indication so you don't miss the trade, because a 4-hour velocity alert can be a huge candle. Whereas if it starts to move on a 1-hour chart first, you have a chance to actually get into the trade. Is that clear for everyone? Because this is literally how you have to set yourself up. Is that clear? Is that clear? 3 alerts, and you've got it there. If you don't know, you're going to be able to watch back this Zoom call and you go over and press pause, play, pause, play, pause, play until you get it. Yep. Yeah, but not all of them are set to watch list, mate. You only have to have your velocity surge on the watch list, yeah? And you have to have your, you don't even have to have your velocity surge on the watch list, that's one. But you can have your velocity surge on the watch list, yeah? You can have your Oracle position tool on the watch list. The only main one you need is your Oracle position tool, because once you get an Oracle trade, this trade here that appears, okay, remember, you already know the direction. So now you don't need to watch both directions. You only need the watch list alerts because you want to watch both directions. You don't need to. The Oracle tool is going to show you both directions. Do you understand? So you don't need it. Once you get your that sell or buy direction, every other trade, you've got like 200 alerts you can use. I think if you've got premium, you've got like 500 alerts. You literally can set a buy or sell alert based on that. Do you understand? So it's 3 different alerts. One of them has to be a watch list. But if you want to use 2 of them as a watch list, like I do, because I want to know what pairs are breaking out throughout. So I want to know what pairs give me a buy and sell alert for the Oracle position tool. And I want to know what pairs are breaking out. Do you understand? By the way. You've got to go to show main chart signals. As soon as you open up Neos right at the start of your settings, it says show main chart signals. And that's how you put on the arrows, literally. Only question is when to talk is when you talk about the first alert, I get settings. I get the settings when you somebody said, hold on, let me read this. Somebody said, only question is when you talk about the first alerts, I get the settings when you say to confirm the trade has appeared on the 4 hour time frame. Do you mean the one trades that are shown? Yeah, that's what I mean. These ones. I said it about 7 times, mate. That's about 7 times. I said these ones, the position tool. Remember, we all know what a position tool is. This is called a position tool. Forget the fancy name I might give it. It's called a position tool. So when the position tool appears, that's the buy or sell Oracle alerts right there. So I don't need to watch the market. I get these alerts coming through on my phone. Whatever pair does it. I know GBP has it because I've got the alert. I've got the alert right here. Look, GBP there, boom. It's giving me an alert. So if we go to GBP right now, I didn't need to do that before I did the Zoom call. It already told me GBP has a possible buy alert. Right here, boom. But I can see that this, remember, because you're set on the 15-minute chart, you're going to get alerts that are not real. This is what I'm trying to tell you because Neo is, remember, it's coded. First and foremost, I have to keep telling people I'm one person. Not that you guys are complaining, but it's for some people to understand. Because they'll be like, but John, this and that. And I'll be like, you got to give man some slack. I'm one person doing all this code by myself. You're going to get one or two little things here, but I always explain to you what to do. If someone chooses not to listen or watch my Zoom call or read the VIP, there's bare places you can go to learn, then that's on them, not on me. So now, well, you can see it's not real. How I know it's definitely not real is I can go to the daily chart and I can see, but it is real. I tell you why it is real, because of this. This is the main reason. There is a daily IFEG here. I've just switched it off in my Neo settings to clear up my chart. There's a daily IFEG created. So yes, this is a confirmed trade. It just hasn't appeared on the 4 hour yet. Again, little glitch, whatever the weather. But yes, this is confirmed. There's a 4 hour daily IFEG there. So automatically, me just going to check that it created a daily IFEG bullish, automatically I know this is a real trade. So that's why sometimes you see in the signal chat, I will just do this. I'm not going to start crying about coding bugs and all of this stuff because are we here to make money? Or are we here to cry about a glitch? Go to the daily chart. Is there a daily IFEG there? If there is one, because you've learned about IFEGs. If not, go to Google. You can see 1,000 different explanations on how IFEGs are formed. You understand? There's a billion. We'll draw the red line there. Now, what am I waiting for? So on this pair here, I'm waiting for it to either appear. I'm waiting for a velocity surge. That's literally it, a break of structure, velocity surge. I can already see there's a previous break of structure here. We're bullish on the day, on the 4 hour. Do you understand? We're bullish already. I can see. But what I can see here, yeah, is this. I don't know if this is a bearish or bullish candle because that's a weird ass candle. But this could technically be a resistance here. Yeah? Could technically be a resistance here. Boom. Can you see? So what I'd be waiting for, let's just say that is a resistance. Obviously, I'd have to go do research. I'll be waiting for price to break above this area and carry on buys from there. We're already in the Oracle zone. Everything's confirmed, literally. So if this is a resistance area, yeah, I'm looking for entries above this area. My stop loss would have to be down here, which is not the greatest. Unless it creates a new low here, this is not a great stop loss. So I have to wait. So right now I'm waiting to see what price does or doing more research to find out if this is actually a bearish candle. Because again, as we can see, unless you do this, it's obviously a market gap candle, which is crazy because we're on a Rwanda. I don't know what that is. That just looks like a flipping pin. It looks like, it really just looks like a pin. You understand? So yeah, that's what I'll do. So GBP is a trade setup because it's got daily break of daily IFEG. It just hasn't appeared here with a signal. So all we're waiting for in this pair right now for the buy continuation is a velocity surge. That's your biggest thing. If you get a velocity surge, it's more than likely going to continue to move anyway. So if you get a velocity surge in GBP for buys, strong buys today, guess what? Oracle alert, GBP can buy, you can take the trade. Simple. Okay. Okay. Once I know which trade I'm thinking of getting into, then I can set an alert for the arrow for the specific pair without needing to use a watch list. Yes, you can, but how are you going to know which Oracle alerts, which Oracle pairs are there? You just saw what I did. I didn't have to check 28 pairs. I instantly was able to see that GBP is a trade. I was instantly able to go to it without no headache. Then just to double confirm, because I'm just going to say it how it is, I'm not lazy, people. I've told you a billion times. The main confluence of the Oracle alerts are daily IFEGs forming. If there is no gap daily IFEG form, don't take the trade, regardless of what it is. I can see there's a gap here. There was an FEG bearish here in this gap. Remember, Neo prints it for you automatically anyway. You just got to switch it on in the settings. I just literally have turned it off in the settings. But go to the settings, yeah. And this is things as well that I get to people because people are not doing this. Like you have go through your settings, people. You've got all the settings here, read them, go through them, you know, and that's it. Boom. If I switch this on, the daily IFEG is going to appear here. Look, it's right there, guys and girls. I'm so quick with it now, I don't need it even on because I can just draw it. It just takes 1 second to go to the daily chart and draw an IFEG. You know, like that. It takes 1 second. We don't have to be that lazy. That's what I'm saying. But you can switch it on if you want. It's there automatically for you. Boom. You can see your IFEG is right there. It says confirm that. The only thing that hasn't happened, again, yes, it's a glitch, but hey, are we here to make money? Or are we here to complain about minor glitches if you can just do that? It's already there. The trade is there, basically. It's telling you that. You've got your alert because on the 15 minutes appearing, but it's just not appearing there. So if we go to the 15 minute, it might be here. Look. Let's just see. Also, it hasn't appeared here. It didn't appear for no reason. It's obviously appeared, but whatever gap maneuver they've done is just giving it a little bit of a weird jolt. That's all it is. The trade is there because you've got the alert. And the daily IFG is there. Cool. So now you just look for your buy trade setup. So you're looking for the buy trade continuation. Wait for your velocity. Your velocity will tell you if this trade is real or not. So if you get a 1 hour 3.0 for the buy here, it's more than likely buying. The only red flag we have here is this a bearish candle or not? You'd have to do more research into that one. I don't know because it looks like literally looks like a T. Yeah. But even if that's not the case, we are in a bullish trend because the last arrow was bullish. So the floodgates have opened technically. You understand? So if there is a daily IFEG, then it's also validated if the 4 hour hasn't appeared. Yes, that's right. Boom. Like I said, I've explained that a couple of times, but maybe I had to refresh everyone's brain. Like just go and literally, that's all I do. People think I'm joking. Like if I get any false signals, like I don't complain. I tell you, technologies that we were here in replay mode and the candle disappeared. I don't know what to do, people. Sometimes things just disappear. I don't know. But we could not be lazy and just go check the main confluence. The main confluence is the daily IFG. If it's there, boom, it's a trade setup. It's probably bearish given where the next candle opened relevant to the candle before. So technically it could be, but we don't know. This looks like some type of gap candle. So it's up to you. If you don't think the trade is right, then just don't take it. I mean, it looks pretty crap. I'm not going to lie to you because when you go to the daily chart, this does not look like it's going to be a strong buy from where it is. Because, but again, when you see a trade like this, now as a trader, you say, I'm going to use less risk. That's what you do. So I'm going to use less risk. So just use less risk. So if you trade 1% most times, you trade 0.25. If you lose 0.25%. You move on. So this is more than likely going to be a bot trade. As long as there's a velocity move, the bot will take trades on this. You get it? Boom. So take it. So that's one there. But that's the only alert that's appeared so far. So this is something I'll put in the group and tell people to wait, pay attention. You see, literally what I did there is how I do it. I literally have done that. Got my alert, gone to the pair, seen that it's valid because the daily IFG is there. Now it's not showing the box. I'll draw it for you guys and girls I'll draw it from where it is now because it's in the Oracle zone and just say, yep, boom. So this is my standard notion of the trade. And even with me doing this, we still have a win rate. That's what I'm trying to say. No velocity alert, me drawing it like this shows you people that nobody needs to worry. Neo is profitable. I do this and every single week, I think there's only been maybe 2 weeks out of 3 months that we've probably been negative on Neo, literally. All of it's proven, it's track record in the Telegram group that the link is going to be in the description for this video. There is no way for me to hide from this, guys and girls. I've given every trade out that this is producing with buy and sell signals for free. All of these trades, all of them. As long as I catch it, I give it. It's simple. You mainly look for 4 hour BL. It's only 4 hour BL. It's nothing else. Do not go on different time frames for it. Do not do it. I tell you that from now. Don't get creative with it and start going to the 15 minute because if you start losing 10 trades in a row, that's on you, man. That's on you, man. But I'm telling you, the 4 hours powerful. It's powerful. The 4 hours really strong. Gold has held 2 news events with 4 hours on. That's NFP and yesterday's news. I think it was ADP news. So ADP news on Wednesday, on Tuesday, and NFP has held from 4 hour zones. Use the 4 hour zones. If you don't use them, well, oh boy, they're probably going to get whipsawed. I'm telling you that from now. Because the 4 hour strong, the daily strong, and the weekly is even crazy. You understand? So, boom. And they're not always massive, huge, the zones as well, people. So you don't have to worry. The 4 hour zones can be very small. It'll be like 10 pips. Like, look, if it was to use this zone here, let's just say our entry was here. This zone here is like 6 pips, people. Why do you need to go to the 5 minute for a zone? Let's just say, like, I get it. Sometimes it's going to be far away from price. Yes, that's because of the 4 hour candle push. I get it. But the zone itself is not always huge. It's not often that they're like 70 pips. The most zones are like 30 pips if they're like this. You get it. But even this is probably 20 pips. But yeah, boom, this is going to be an Oracle trade. So anybody else got any other questions before I leave it? Obviously, this is already like a 2 hour Zoom call. So I don't want to make it too crazy. But it's a market structure guide. That's why I'm happy with it. And then you all can know how to use this market structure with Neil. Any other questions before I lock it off? It is 12 o'clock here, and I am doing Zoom calls in the house, talking, breaking stuff down. You know how it goes. I think I'm good. What do you want to know about OJPY? That's the last question. Based on the 4 hour, yes, we've got a 4 hour bullish break of structure here. We have a resistance that's formed here now. So technically, no, this is a previous one. We are in a bullish trend on the 4 hour, yes. But your better confirmation would be at the 4 hour close above this level here. Because even though it wants to buy now, you could get in this buy and it could just go here and then pull back down. Do you understand? So technically, you want it to break above here and then look for your buys. Because that shows you that structure's holding the whole point of it. So it shows you, look, boom, structure is holding. What is it? Boom, let me do this properly. I always get it wrong when I start from the middle of nowhere. Start from, yeah. Um, yeah, boom, um, um, Yep, see? So it's showing your structure's holding. So you've got like a double bottom here. And then if it breaks above here, you've got a higher low forming for your continuation. You see it? You see the play? You see the play, my G? You see it? Right there. That's your target. You see it? No worries. So it's right there for you and me. All right, cool. I'm going to figure out the confirmed zones. Has anyone figured out how to switch on the confirmed zones before we go? Just so we know. If nobody's figured it out, then I have to figure it out and tell you in the group. And then obviously once I tell some of you, please, if anyone else asks, give them the information. No problem at all, people. Like I told you, this is good because you guys and girls can now understand why I won't take certain velocity trades. If the break of structure is not there, yeah, don't take the trade. Yes, it might be in the previous trend, but just like I drew on this picture here, your safer bet is to wait for this one here. If you get in here, you're risking it. Do you understand? So it's better to wait. So it'd be good to get a velocity to break this zone, the candle, and then you're getting in here. Now you're nice. If you really want to be sexy with it, then you can say to yourself, yeah, I'm going to try and risk this as my stop loss. You understand? To take it. You can do it. But obviously it can wick through there because the safer stop loss is obviously the low. But, you know, if you want to be sexy with it, it might just break, retest, and continue. Completely up to you. That's down to your risk management. But obviously my advice is obviously put it on the low. Yeah. No worries at all, people. All right, cool, cool. We leave it there and we continue. No worries at all, man. Take care. I'll upload this tonight, so hopefully by tomorrow you'll be able to rewatch it anyway. Yeah? And I'll put the link to the gold uh, structure video in there as well. So in this video, there'll be the link to the gold one where I go over how to draw this break of structure. So once you get the idea and see how I did it there, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, I see what he's doing. Cool. All right, no worries. Take care. If you're on the 1 hour. Yeah, that's if you're on the 1 hour. So yeah, I'm not saying you can't get in, but that's down to you. That's not down to what I'm saying. That's how you want to trade, mate, James. So that's down to you. Yes, it's buying. We can see it buying now. And the 1 hour will probably give me an alert soon to say it's buying. But it's down to you, mate. Because remember, even though it says on the 1 hour it's buying, I will come to the 4 hour and see this zone. That's what I keep saying to you. I'm going to look at this zone. And this zone will tell me, yes, the 1 hour might be telling me buy, but what can it do here? It can just reject because we've seen it do it twice. NFP rejected from this zone. So what makes you think that 1 hour can't reject from this zone in the middle of Asia session? That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like when you use the logic of these things, you're like, okay, yeah, cool. You get it. All right, cool, people. All right, take care, man. Take care.